Our dreams are young and we would know. You'll take us where we want to go. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to leave without you.
It's Manny Pacquiao.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You want to know right now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure, I'll never ask.
The guy's so charismatic, and he don't talk no shit. He'll pray for you. Okay, all right, all right. He still sins. And I don't think he fully understands that, that lying is a sin. And for him to say that he won the Mayweather fight, I'm sorry, guys. And I'm a big Emmanuel Deputy Pacquiao fan. But that's a sin. Even though he used to sin a whole lot. He used to, listen. No jokes. Pacquiao used to be on some shit, with the daughtery, with the cockfighting, the gambling, the hoes. But he's admitted all these things. He's turned his life around. Now, of course, he wants like the drug dealers dead, and it's controversial to talk about, but we know Manny Pacquiao don't like gay people. But still, he's an inspiration. Recently, he said he's given $100 million away to like the people of the Philippines. So I'm thinking, what does he mean by that? How much did he give his friends and all that? It can be very dangerous, but at the same time, this is a man who has a whole nation behind him. So he will never be in like a broke like situation. Manny Pacquiao is always going to be loved by Filipinos, but not just them, Asians, and also, a lot of other ethnic groups just because of like, for example, women love Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because they say he's cute. I've heard it before. They're like, oh, he's so cute, he's so tiny. And then he be singing and shit. Then he's always talking about, I want to do it for my people. but when it comes to boxing, right now, I can't believe that it's been 6 years I've been covering Manny Pacquiao fights. The first video I ever on YouTube was about Manny Pacquiao. What was it? Manny Pacquiao versus Margarito or Manny Pacquiao versus Shane Mosley? I didn't forgot. But now that this is a man who's going to be what? In December, 37 or 38? I believe he's going to be 38. Now, in this day and age, 38 is not considered old in boxing compared to, just 10 years ago, being 35 in boxing. Being 35 in boxing, was old. Being in your early 30s in boxing was old. Look at guys like most recently, who has somewhat of rejuvenation in his career the wrong way, Juan Manuel Lopez. Or look at, on the other end of the spectrum, Jesus Soto Karates, who's got like a lot of, city miles on him, a lot of stop and go traffic. You see what I'm saying? Look at Gabriel Rosado, but it all depends on, the amount of beatings that you take. And we know that Manny Pacquiao got knocked out in the worst way you could possibly. He lost a fight in the worst horrific way you could ever possibly lose a fight. He got knocked the fuck out. He was put to sleep. And when I saw it, I was like, this was during the end of my drinking days, my heavy drinking days. So I was looking, I was like, wait, what the? I was looking, I was literally like in shock, but not in like a, oh, like when it happened and it was like, oh, he's not getting up, Jim. And I'm looking, I'm like, but I remember I had bad premonitions going into that fight, man. With that Marquez guy in that piss, and the way when he stepped on that scale, all I heard was that's my version of the Terminator theme. That's my version of the Terminator. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna talk about how much time we got left. We got plenty of time. By the way, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I am finally hyped for Pacquiao versus Vargas. It's a Pacquiao fight. Now I understand a lot of people saying they're going to stream it and all that. That's fucked up. You know, that's a fuck. Like, support the sport you love, and I can understand how people may say it's a bad fight, but then again, no, I don't. Jessie Vargas is a world champion. That's a belt. You know, that's a belt. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You may hate it, but yo, it's a way better fight than fucking Mayweather Berto. You know, Juan Manuel Marquez is one of the greatest Mexican boxers of all time. But when I feel that he's like the mad scientist. I feel that he really would go to any length to defeat Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry. I feel he's genetically enhanced. Or something happened. That's Skynet and somebody else. Remember how he stepped on the scale? You can't tell me when Juan Manuel Marquez stepped on that scale for that fourth fight and he was all, come on. Remember when he did the poor old Mike Alvarado and he knocked him damn near out the ring? I remember, what was that, round 3? When he hit Manny Pacquiao with that right hand and Pacquiao got up like on his elbows and his forearms, on the back of his forearms, like looking like what the fuck? I think after that, Manny Pacquiao hasn't been the same. I think he's been definitely afraid of the right hand. Remember Timothy Bradley, Mr. I used to be a bully, Timothy Bradley. And Timothy Bradley, cool, no disrespect. I'm just joking when it comes to Timothy Bradley, but not when it comes to Marquez. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Allegedly. Sorry. I'm sorry. But Timothy Bradley, a cool dude. And plus, me and Timothy Bradley are the same age and born on an exact same day and an exact year. August 29th, 1983. But Timothy Bradley's in a situation where people, for some reason, say that he won the first fight. I don't know how you see that. And I remember that old black and white video. Even me and the guy who did the video, we were cool for a little bit of time. Remember that HBO bias, HBO nut huggery video where it showed like Jim Lampley getting all hype for punches of Pacquiao's that wasn't landing? He still won the fight. He still won the fight. But when he got knocked out by Marquez, man, something wasn't right. Also, when it comes to, him moving up to 147 pounds, if you look at it, truth be told, which is fact, he hasn't had a knockout since 2009, even though he's had multiple knockdowns. How many times did he knock Algieri down? 6 times? 7 times? And then you saw what Errol Spence did with stopping him. I feel that maybe Pacquiao's punching power didn't really carry up, or maybe it's because his punching activity, has you dropped. Because no matter what, Pacquiao, even though he won't knock you out, come on, you got to be on your defensive game because he will fuck your shit up. Manny Pacquiao will fuck your face up. Come on, that's a fact. Don't hate when you may think whatever you want to think about him, but he will fuck your motherfucking face up. So you got to be on your defense has got to be tight. You don't want to take that left hand straight to the face. Straight to the face. And going back to Mr. Marquez. Was that it? That was the end of it? We got to run it back. So I got to make my final point for Marquez. Pacquiao was fucking his face up. Remember that HBO 24/7 for when he fought Bradley? Right? Marquez. And you saw Marquez in the shower You know, with the blood just dripping down his face. He was fucked up. And then in that round where he knocked Pacquiao out, he was about to get stopped himself. But Pacquiao tell you himself, it was too much. See, there's certain fighters, right? Fighters, right, that are very aggressive. That are aggressive fighters. Sean Porter is an aggressive fighter. We see that Earl Spence is an aggressive fighter. You know, we see who else? Who else? Like, pressure fighters. They have what is called aggressiveness. But see, Emmanuel Dapidran Pacquiao has something called, and he calls it this himself, it's that extra level. It's the aggressiveness. And he'll tell you, he's like, well, came in overzealous, had too much aggressiveness. It's the aggressiveness. But now, you hear that him say stuff like about like his hungerness. He's been searching to get that hungerness back forever. What you'll hear is during training camp, he'll say, that he doesn't have his hungerness. But then during the fight, even if he don't look good, for example, when he fought Mayweather, he said he didn't have the hungerness. Also, people don't give him credit for beating Timothy Bradley in the third fight. Timothy Bradley was still one of the pound-for-pound greats at that point in time. People don't give him credit for beating Timothy Bradley in that third fight. Timothy Bradley is a very good fighter, a very confused fighter in my personal opinion. And I mean confused as though Timothy Bradley should be a boxer mover. He's this guy who was trying to test his power. And remember, he hit the shit out of Manny too. Lifted Manny out of his fucking Nikes, damn near. When he punched him dead in the face. But then, that voodoo. Never forget that. When she had the little cards and like she spit on them. She was like It was like she spit on the cards, which is the little fucking rosary beads or whatever that was. She fucking like put the cards real close. She was like crazy. But Jessie Vargas is good. Jessie Vargas has gotten a lot better over the years, but you know what I'm afraid of? It has to be talked about. It has to be talked about. From my understanding, Angel Mimo Haradi is a cool dude. He don't seem like he's a bad guy. He seems like he's just a nice-ass guy. But at the same time, fucking Guru Science. That's his handle, Guru Science. And he is the motherfucking science guru. You want to know something crazy? He's also the strength and conditioning coach of Lucien Boutte. Lucien Boutte got busted, if you don't remember, for performance-enhancing drugs. Guess what the drug he was taking? Some drug, I forgot what it's called, that had Juan Manuel Marquez on the motherfucking on the container. Go look it up. I'm not making this shit up. Jessie Vargas is trained by that guy, or strength and conditioning coach is that guy. Remember, Jessie Vargas knocked out Saddam Ali and damn near dropped, Timothy Bradley. He wants to say that he was about to knock Timothy Bradley out, but Timothy Bradley's a tough son of a bitch. He would have probably went down and just started twirling all around and shit, but then got up, probably got his ass whooped some more, and then would have recovered. Jessie Vargas is dangerous in my opinion. This is not, and these are the type of fights where people say they're not going to watch or they're not going to pay for, where they be good-ass fights. Also, it's a good-ass card. You got Donaire and Pacquiao on the same card. It's crazy. So, I can understand how people feel, as far as like, HBO didn't want the fight, so it must have been a bad fight and all that. I'm going to talk about the facts of that later on in the week. But if you really want to just keep it cut and dry, it's like they had fucking Kovalev. They got Kovalev Ward. And then November is a brutal month for my pockets when it comes to UFC, when it comes to Pacquiao Vargas, when it comes to Kovalev Ward. Then you got the Rousey fight, next month. And is there a pay-per-view next month too? Thank God there's not. It's supposed to be, I don't know who it's supposed to be next month. But just thank God. There's so much more to talk about. We still got so much more to talk about Jessie Vargas. I guess we're going to save that for another couple more days. So I'm going to be pumping out, like I used to, about 5 videos this week on Pacquiao versus Vargas before we actually get to the fight. And another thing I want to point out, which I'm going to likely talk about in the next video, is how I feel Pacquiao don't really want to fight no more. I just think they have him fight. I really don't feel he wants to fight no more. And I don't want to hear no excuses, like if he loses. I don't want to hear no excuses. But man, oh man, I want the Pac-Man to win. I don't want him to be one of those fighters that just go out, losing to somebody he shouldn't lose to. That's no disrespect to Jessie Vargas. I just hope that this shit is really serious because you hear so many different reports from camp, but that's what you always hear from training camps, right? You never know what's really going on. Motherfuckers just say, such and such got knocked out in sparring, or, they didn't do this, or yada, yada, yada. You always hear about the Pacquiao leg cramps and, all that. What's next for Pacquiao if he wins? We're gonna save it for another video. We got to talk about if he wins. That Mayweather Pacquiao 2 dope is still open. It's still open. And then the fact that Floyd is supposed to be retired too. If he says he's coming back to fight, if he says he's coming back to fight Pacquiao in the rematch, what that's going to do, we'll have to see. T-Street content. Also, the political hurdles are not in the way anymore because Pacquiao is not tied to HBO anymore. So therefore, only Top Rank and Showtime have to work together. And Showtime get off. Floyd can still get maybe $200 million. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. We're back now. We're going to pump out a whole lot of motherfucking videos. T-Street Controversy Live.